Texture, actual and implied. Texture is the feel, appearance, or consistency of a substance or surface. Actual texture is texture you can touch. Implied texture is texture that you can see. It cannot be felt. We will sort items between the two categories. Let's start with soft texture. Easy to mold, cut, compress, or fold, not hard or firm. Cotton balls. Now look how soft those feel. And I said feel. They are actual texture. Notice these clouds in Paul Nash's painting Landscape from a Dream, 1939. They are soft looking. I can't feel them. So, is that actual texture or implied texture? Texture that you cannot feel. Cotton balls, actual texture. This illustrated cloud is implied texture. Let's move on to rough, like this sandpaper. I can feel the bumps and uneven surface. It's actual texture. Himba is an abstract painting created by Jillian Ayres. It has a rough looking texture. You cannot feel it, but you can see it. It is implied texture. Sandpaper is actual rough texture. This illustration of rough texture is implied. Woven texture is multiple interlacing or interconnected elements, like this scarf. But is it actual or implied texture? It's actual. I can feel this texture. It's woven and soft. Jonathan Lasker's painting Public Love from 1990 appears to look woven. It has interconnected elements such as these lines. These textures appear to look woven, not like the scarf that is actual texture that you can feel. In Kangaroo Dreaming, painted by Clifford Possum Jalpaljari, he created bumpy texture using paint. This is texture we cannot feel. It is implied. This leaf has bumpy texture you can feel. It's uneven with many patches raised above the rest. This is actual texture. Remember, that's texture we can touch. Our leaf is texture we can touch. Our bumpy illustration is texture we can see. Implied. Review time! Okay, so if we are looking at a texture and we can close our eyes and feel that texture still, we know it is actual texture. Texture we can feel. If we see a texture but it feels a different way, then we can assume this is implied texture. We're not feeling the texture, we're only seeing it. Now it's time for our texture activity. We will be doing texture rubbings. We will need paper, our materials that we have found around the house. You're going to put your paper on top of our materials. Take your crayon and rub on top with the side of your crayon. See? Here is our sandpaper, our rough texture. We're going to rub. It makes kind of bumpy looking texture. What's our cotton ball gonna look like? They're kind of soft. Let's squish them down and rub. Doesn't really do too much. What about our soft woven? It's still not doing too much. But wait, if we use this tape, we find another thing of woven. I remember our cabinet. So let's put our tape down and rub over our cabinet. Let's not get our crayons on the cabinet though. We'll be careful with that. Okay, so now here's the question. Was it easier to do texture rubbing with soft or hard? We will be using hard textures for our texture rubbings. Thanks for watching.